So, would you prefer one
All right.
versus one with spells?
I have enough potions. It's fine. But we can do.
How many potions do you have?
I've got. Give me a sec here. Magnus is carrying a shield, expeditious retreat, and long arms.
You are also now carrying a potion of aid.
Ooh. Caster level.
Caster level 3. It'll give temporary hit points. What type of armor are you wearing?
Potion of aid. My armor is chain shirt.
Okay, good
Master
enough.
Chain shirt. Buckler.
All right.
Yeah.
Pompilius is just smiling at you.
So, 30 seconds to prepare before the start of the conflict.
Are
Spells
you
allowed, but only
allowing?
within the circle?
Are you allowing spells and potions?
I'm supposing it would be a. So the risk, Ahmed, is that they would.
Their
block
magics
haste.
is way. Their magics.
If they have a haste, that
Yeah,
is
I know.
basically GG.
I know.
So, do you want to fight two dudes with, like, it's like you and Bull versus two dudes that are higher level than you? That would be the, like, if you're doing a 2-on-2, that would be the two that you want.
Yeah.
And then it's really,
everybody else is shite.
do you want to kill them or no? And that's if you kill them, you're going to make Legius happier. You also get to satisfy some personal honor. I could do this. That is basically in quest. Okay, Marty. I know I said that all out of character voice, but just assume everything was said just in character voice.
Sure.
This is
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
you guys are given enough space to go off to the other side of the room to talk.
All right. So your options are to try to fight against the captain's special surprise, or try to kill his two veterans, or have a friendly duel with Denister the Raven's men, although you are
Magnus
very...
Angel Dust, I hate angels. Davy Jones, motherfucker, send him to the locker. Sorry, I got so many screens that sometimes I'm not always looking at chat. Funny stuff.
There's good stuff happening in chat.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's lots of assholes,
right.
and you guys are like low level, starting to rub up against high level people right now. So
I would suggest going against the Admirals 2. Let me just take a quick peek at Bull's sheet. Bull is not that strong. He's mostly just fucking dumb.
Yeah, he's hit points, dude. He's not that good of a fighter.
His hit points are... Bull needs to go to school and gym class and everything. He's actually
He has
got
some
his...
spells, but
He does have spells, although he cast a bunch. He does have a second circle prepared. 2 second circles prepared.
bull strength,
strength,
and summon
arc
nature's ally. Those two are beautiful.
He could summon a bull.
I don't think you can. It's funny, but
That's not. And then he's...
what do you think is taking them so long over there, Captain Cowardice?
right.
Ahmed, it's
I don't think. I don't think Bull will be His strength is his spells. If he fights alone, only with 2 or 3.
Well, then would you take Sona?
It's not tough enough.
Tougher than Zor or Fleas.
Not true.
I tell you what, says the
what's
slave
his fight?
lord.
What's his? Give me a sec.
I will allow you a 2-on-1 match, so long as it is not this bull character of yours.
Was that Zol?
No,
Zol's
that was Pompilius.
Huh.
He does come up from a very rough pit. He's smiling. But of course, I will demand a wager being placed upon it. Minimum of 5,000 gold crowns.
Do you have any money?
No, we have no money.
Oh, no, exactly. What the fuck? Okay. I think the best thing is for me to fight the surprise. It's not. I don't think there's any other chance of winning.
With or without magics?
The problem is their magics are going to be much more powerful than ours. Yeah.
He wants to be bested by elves, and besides, his men are trying to kill you.
The other option is, the safe option is, of course, to duel the elves in friendly combat.
We should allow that for now. Until the real fight afterwards.
So
The magics.
how about we propose 2 fights then?
Right.
Stable versus the 2 elves in a non-lethal exchange,
Followed by
followed by the main event.
my fight.
Don't die. Sense motive if Ashoka actually cares if he dies.
What an asshole.
No, Magnus is prepared. Magnus is trying to get in his own world. He's trying to get his own.
He starts mouth breathing in the microphone.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Weird. He starts muttering crazy shit to the cocktail shrimp. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get him.
I'm gonna fuck him up, shrimp. You got that?
The Phantom Man is a villain. He's just a force of chaos. He's just like
Crazy. Okay.
We've got behaving Magnus token.
So. Ashoka is going to confirm with you your conditions before negotiating, because he...
Again, the problem is that magics, if they pull out... Wait a minute. Bards have magic, yeah?
Yes?
What's that guy's name? Buzzer, what's his name?
Pitch.
Pitch.
Pitch, come here, come here. Let me ask you a question. Do you do any spell casting?
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Pitch, are you a spellcaster?
What can I do for you, Magnus Days?
Do you know what haste is? Haste, you know haste, my friend.
Oh my god. Yeah. Pitch cast that spell. Let me get real fast. Let me make myself real fast.
I look at Ashoka. I'm like, I was like, huh?
Would you be willing to cast it on Magnus for his upcoming fight?
Willing and able. What are the terms of the fight?
Yet
What do I
to be
get? What do I get?
determined.
You get. I get.
Sorry.
It's a
The
very
terms
good
of the
question.
fight is It's bloody. Two will go in, one will come out. Are you on my side?
Oh, and two will come up. Two go in, one will come up. Two, one. What side are you
Two
on?
are gonna walk in, one will come out.
You may want to get it in the terms. Terms.
There's gonna be some magic involved before the fight. So I'm asking for your help. I was thinking of you.
He's agreeing. He's saying you make it part of the terms.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure. Yes, we're going to be making magics part of the terms.
Should I use my villain point to have the Phantom Man to screw over the elves, unless I should have saved for something more important? The villain point to have the Phantom Man fighting with elves and maybe get them out of a situation? I don't know. Is it villainous against the party? Don't know.
Normally it's used to screw over.
Right.
So, yes. Captain.
Yeah.
We'd like to discuss terms for your unblooded to duel against Magnus.
Pompilius is the one with the unblooded. He's got two guys.
Oh, he's got two guys.
Yeah.
Oh. Pompilius is the unblooded. Pompilius. You're unblooded.
Yes, his name is Grawl.
Knowledge, local, something. Do I know the name? Be really useful.
Yeah, it's like Nat 20 kind of territory.
I roll a die.
What's his race?
He's got a smattering of human in him. He's smiling.
Don't we?
And
I believe Ruick.
okay, thank you. Hey, what the fuck is Ulrich?
We propose a duel. It means
No.
type of giant, but no.
Okay.
Knowledge or nature?
Knowledge nature, sure.
I don't have knowledge nature. I will roll an in check. 19.
Yeah, Ruick means orc. It's the name of the
Oh.
Empire of the Orcs.
It's the Rukai. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's orc. A individual duel between Magnus and your Ruick.
Individual, you say? How delicious.
Spellcasting before allowed.
Unfortunately, I didn't bring any spellcasters. I only brought potions.
Potions in addition to spellcasting would be acceptable, although no invisibility. We're trying to put on a show.
Of course not. That would be in poor sport now, wouldn't it? All right. Yes, spellcasting allowed. Whatever spells Magnus knows, he can bring into the ring.
No.
Oh, exterior spellcasting.
Well, that's how potions are. They're exterior spells.
You want me to dig deep into my pockets to ensure a win, and then upset our host. If I don't dig deep, then I might lose a gladiator. To what terms will the fight be? I cannot promise, keep in mind, that an unblooded gladiator knows the rules.
We are not looking for unnecessary death. Only a good show.
Yes, he is most unruly, which is why I brought him here. Very well. To the death, then.
Merely to submittal. Unconsciousness.
Understand that my man will likely enter some sort of frothing frenzy and not stop. Is that okay with you, Magnus?
I'll try not to kill him.
You'll likely stop when you fall. But this is a dangerous game we're playing, and by we I mean you.
Magnus to himself makes a prayer to Cord.
Now, shall we bet on our own men? Whatever spells, shall we put a limit on it? Shall we say whatever spells can be performed in 3 measures?
So 3 spells?
Effectively 3 rounds is what he's saying.
3 rounds.
Yeah, you can have like 6 people casting at the same time.
Yeah, he's saying he's not interested in having the fight where you guys sit there for an hour casting spells on each other and then one guy explodes. And no spell casting afterwards from outside the ring. I'm sure that my man doesn't know any spells, and I'm pretty sure that Magnus doesn't.
That is acceptable, although once an opponent is felled, spells may be used to save the gladiator.
Oh, yes, once the fight is over. When one is unconscious or dead, the fight should be done.
I got fucking die hard. I ain't going down.
So you're just gonna die.
I'm gonna straight ass die.
All right.
Shall we put a wager on our own men to make this much more interesting? I'm sorry, Magnus, I am not here for the blood and guts either. For this fine wine and for the money.
You're the one with the
You
body.
notice that Denister chuckles a little bit to himself when mention of money? You don't know if it's he knows something or or he's not there for the money.
Yeah.
I want to. So Bull is not going to fight with the 2-on-2, right? Or we don't really care.
It's a 1-on-1.
No, the other fight. The
the other fight I'm gonna negotiate as a warm-up fight.
I want the bark skin and bull strength from
From Bull.
From Bull. Yeah.
Yeah, that other one's a non-lethal one, so.
Yep.
Or we'll see. But yeah, keep that in mind. What do you have in mind?
To cover the cost of the potions and the loss of such a valuable gladiator, I would see that no less than 5 talents for each of us. Of course, if money is an issue, all of us have our own financiers. I'm sure that Legius, well, he agreed to pay half.
What does that mean?
That
What are
if
the
you,
details on
that
that?
if you lose and you wagered 5,000, you would only
You'd only
be
pay
stiffed for the
2.5.
bill for 2.5 talents. He is a very generous host. Then how shall we say, if we're paying half, then let's make it 10,000. I will bet on my man, and you can bet on yours. Even odds.
Oh, what do we have for treasure? Not a lot.
Nothing. Fucking nothing. We don't have any treasure. We are essentially the treasure.
Yes.
Agreed, then.
In terms of payment, and we would expect the money in how many days?
No, I'm not the I'm not the one you have to worry about. When I should expect a payment from you, I'm sure we can come to some terms.
Glad you understand the state of my question.
I'm broke, bitch.
Welcome to the big boy table, is what he says. And he has some people come over like this was anticipated, and there are legal contracts, or there are legal loans that Ashoka has to sign for.
Okay.
Oh
Sure.
no.
I'd rather die.
Are you sure you want to put down your stable's name here? It would be much more beneficial for you to put down your own name. Then the proceeds would go directly to you, and there would not be, how shall we say, mixed up with other bad business. So whose name, basically I'm asking, is going on the loan? Are you putting your company's name down on the loan? The Conclave of Crimson Sands? He's suggesting that he's suggesting that you put your name down. Either you or Magnus, or both you and Magnus.
Either I win or I die. So I'm a dead dude or a rich dude. Put my name down, baby.
Magnus and Ashoka.
Okay, so basically you make your mark, you make your legal mark, you're asked to put your fingerprint in ink next to where you're signing. There is somebody there that opens up a box. Like there's somebody there, like some sort of banker or like some sort of money man that actually places out the 5 talents. And then the other 5 talents that come from a different box. And then what the slave lord Pompilius does, he just kind of throws down a letter. They open up the letter, they take it, they stamp it, and they put down the 10 talents, which are these like minted bars of like platinum, and they're inscripted with gold, and they're beautiful looking things. They represent 1,000 gold pieces in the Imperium. They may not be worth like 1,000 gold pieces of material, but they do have expensive material built into them. Probably platinum and gold. They're like silvery bars that are easily transportable.
It's good to know that we could steal somebody's life savings and melt it down and sell it for like 1/10 of whatever the value was.
Effectively, that's what you'd be doing, and some people, like, that's probably why they built it that way.
Nice.
So it does have some monetary value, as opposed to face value. Can I get in on this wager?
Is he talking to us or is he talking to Pompilius?
He's... well, sure. He's unblooded, but vicious. I would speak to Ashoka for a moment.
Yes.
You can
I'll have a private chit-chat.
What is the nature of the contract you have with Magnus?
The contract we just signed or previous contracts?
Is he a free gladiator or not?
As I understand it, he is in debt to, like, he's owned. Correct?
He has some debts. You're not sure. You've never seen the paperwork for that.
It is somewhat complicated. He does have a large debt associated with him.
So if Magnus wins, you get 10 grand. If
Magnus loses, we need to come up with 5 grand.
You need to pay 5 grand.
Well, you need to make up 2.5 grand.
No.
Wait, 5.
He doubled it.
Yeah.
He doubled it after I asked what the 50% meant.
Oh yeah.
What a dick. Although, when we win the 10 grand, we could get some gladiators that don't suck.
I'll cover your losses. Or double your winnings.
And what do you get?
Magnus's contract.
Slow look.
Why would this captain pay 10 grand for Magnus?
Good breeding stock. It's all about genetic purity or some nonsense like that.
You can give me a sense motive if you want.
Yeah, I would love a sense motive.
Torture.
Maybe he's your daddy. He's your papa. 22.
Magnus has embarrassed him. He wants revenge. There's hatred in his eyes. This does not bode well for Magnus. This is a spiteful, powerful man.
I understand the situation that you're in, and I am most sympathetic. Unfortunately, now is not the correct time for us to make this sort of move. I most definitely would be interested in hearing this proposition again in the future, though.
Give me a
You're
diplomacy
gonna get run
check.
through, man. He's saying you're gonna get run through.
Give me a diplomacy check. The DC is 20.
All right. Salty Jones. I think I am going to use my charmer
Okay.
power, which basically means I can roll twice.
Cool.
Yes, I can.
Look at you using your talkie powers. He's got a talkie character.
Yeah, talkie guy.
Yep. Use your powers. Use your powers.
On multiple deals, Ashoka's tried to screw Magnus
no.
over.
2 and a 4.
No.
So
not-
17 and a 17.
Let
Let
me know if
if
you
I need
think
a hero point.
I will let you know if I need a hero point.
Okay,
Save the hero points to save Magnus.
his face twists, and there's a bit of spite that is flashing across his face. There is an
Just
opportunity
got
for a hero point. A hero point would save him from what he's about to do.
No, not important.
It's up to the chat. Although I know how I would spend it, and I know I wouldn't spend it here, but I wouldn't mind not having this guy trying to skin me with Magnus alive at the same time, with the keel hauling and stuff. Okay.
All right, so no, nothing. Okay,
I-
so basically he says, "Very well then. I want half your winnings, or I'm going to make sure that you lose."
How, pray tell, would you do that?
3 measures is a long time to cast spells.
What's the captain offering to fight?
Does the captain looks like he has does he have gear?
Yeah, he's got gear. Like he's got baubles and things. There's some sort of rod at his belt. He's got a dagger. He doesn't have a lot of weapons. He's got gear.
It's interesting. So, Ashoka's just sitting there using his spellcraft, going like, "What spells could he possibly cast?"
He's a high level dude. He can cast whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, but there's not that many awesome buffs, and most of them are personal only and are clericy.
You're raising your fucking blood pressure. I got kids. He's gonna sit here. I was going.
I think getting keelhauled makes for good viewing. Funny. Now these guys are dicks, man. Like, what do you expect? You're being introduced to the type of politicking and dealing that you guys are going to have to, like...
I'll need 4.
Oh, you
gladiators.
understand the blood pressure then?
Half the winnings, we get 4 unblooded gladiators. It's a good deal.
Trying to replenish your stock, huh?
We get them whether he wins or loses.
Okay, give me a sense motive. Oh.
25!
He is trying to hide his excitement for some reason at having this deal.
He's going to give us something terrible. Or the money is good or something.
Yep. Like he schemed something and did a poor job at like bluffing that he's got like a nut hand.
Okay.
So what was the deal actually? Can you reset it because I'm like
Okay. If we win, he gets half the winnings.
Yep.
He has to give us 4 gladiators either way.
Okay, he 4 gladiators. He's not going to use a spell or waste a potion or something. Not use that rod at his side.
Yeah, he's not going to goddamn righteous might the opponent.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. You know.
Done. A side bet has been made.
Ashoka puts out his hand.
Get me one of the... what do you call it when you have to get me one of the notaries. And you notice a little servant-type man comes over and writes some document you both sign, and the terms are actually spelled out, and some little kind of like sandy salt stuff is spread over the ink where you guys sign so that it dries quickly, and they take the document off to the side. They roll it up and they put it off to the side, almost like ceremoniously, next to where all the money is.
Yep.
Oh yeah, these are rich men, powerful men betting. This is all for
And
other
hey,
types
it's
of
all on
things.
my life.
Don't worry. Ashoka is then going to... He'll give Magnus a reassuring nod.
Yep.
It's a very reassuring nod. I did not... Yes, you'll get to cast 3 spells upon Magnus.
Will I be able to play my cymbals?
Do you have the ability to have your song linger?
Let me see. He takes them out. There's these little hand symbols, like little like ding, 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 like things look like a belly dancer would use. Ding, ding.
We did not specify.
Oh my god! I'm gonna cry!
You can linger it after the first 3 rounds.
The first 3 measures, yes.
The first 3 measures you can, and then afterwards it needs to just linger.
Oh my god,
You wouldn't
Magnus!
happen
Oh my
to
god,
know
Magnus!
Good Hope, would you?
Oh my god! Good up! Yeah. What kind of bard do you think I am? Ding ding.
You're one of the greatest bards in the Imperium.
I'm gonna pass it. Oh.
Okay, so the 3 potions I'm gonna drink are...
Dennis, no?
Yes, Ashoka. You're either very, very slippery, or you're very stupid. I haven't decided which one it is yet.
3 rounds.
I endeavor to be more of one than the other, but time will tell, I suppose.
I suppose those two things are not mutually exclusive. What is it, Ashoka? You've amused me more than anything, and the Queen, well... The Queen appreciates what she sees as well.
Yes. Ashoka likes the Queen. She, like, in terms of, like, that is super powerful, creepy, weirdo, awesome lady. It's like, yes, if I cared about women, it would be a woman like that. Yes. We have a main event planned. Are your warriors willing to do a martial contest as a bit of a warm-up.
As I said, my warriors are young and, well, from an elvish standpoint, and they are eager to prove themselves. We might as well strike the iron while it's hot. And while they are favored by our host, putting on a good flashy show with their blades, the flats of which they will use will be a good thing for both of our ludi.
Yes.
The House Silden takes no point to slaying what few gladiators you have left. It is not very sporting, and you are not our enemy.
Yes. I agree with everything that has been said. It would be good for them to make a showing. This is a chance, and we have no quarrel with you. And to be fair, just sort of looking around the room, kind of like creepy pirate captain over there, we may have some bad blood already.
Got some haters in the house.
Don't hate the players, hate the game.
Despicable.
Touché.
So, your veterans against our 3 apprentices and single-blooded?
Yes, in this way to try to appeal to the masses, they have labeled themselves Vin and Vos off of the 2 ancient gods of civilization and, well, the opposite. Of course, ironically, what the name of the city is named Vinvosa comes from these 2 squabbling brothers that lived on opposite sides of the river in ancient times. One was all about the rules. The other was a wild animal.
Yes. A non-lethal duel.
Oh, Marty, lol. Yeah, I just pull a bunch of shit out of my ass. That's half of what DMing is. Pull more out of it.
It's an asshole of holding.
It is an asshole holding, apparently. It's
You should have
endless.
seen me earlier at lunch today.
I build it up throughout the week and I just let it go.
Do we have blunt arrows in our, do we have blunt arrows?
No, you're a poor. You could probably ask these people. There's a whole bunch of, there are dozens of weapons in this room.
Yes.
It's a clown car up in there. It's jam-packed with the pack rack jack.
Oh, God. So the whip is good, because whip is non-lethal to start with. We
Do
need
not worry
non-lethal.
about a few scuffs and scuttles. These are not weak warriors. I will have several of my ravens at the ready with potions. They're quite well trained, he says.
Um,
Oh no, we lost him. We lose him. Is he still there? There we go.
saps?
No, use your weapons. These are trained warriors. It will be all right.
All right.
Just as long as your men are not trying to kill them, it will be all right. And
Since
you and
we-
I will be all right.
Of course. We don't have Bull's Bull. If Bull's Bull was here, then it would be risky, but it should be all right.
Yeah, Drakester, conflict is where drama is, and things are boring if there is no drama. Your players will create conflict, sometimes on their own, most often the times if just left alone. Like tonight, I honestly didn't have anything planned aside from there was going to be a party at Fat Man's house. That was literally the
Fat Man.
and then I'm like, okay,
Hours
what-
before that, Magnus rolls initiative again.
consequence. I'm like, all right, so what am I going to do? They have no healing. They're hurt. They know they're going to fight. I'm going to let them, like, struggle with that a little bit. Like, that's not something that... Because otherwise, when they have a healer, they're like, yeah, everything's all fine, everything's shiny, all of us are healthy.
Grind it out.
Don't have a healer right now. And 17 damage, beginning of the day with that, is a concern. So, yeah, sometimes just the improvisation comes through just going, what is the next logical, feasible thing that happens? What is the next logical, feasible problem? And they... were perfectly happy, I think, running around and going and talking to people because that's what they wanted to do. There were circumstances, and now they're getting in over their head, which is also fun.
Wait,
In over their head. You can't started over our head.
Shit over here. Get that hero point ready.
I was born of the darkness.
But yes, it is a thing that you need to cultivate. But if you give yourself enough like little details, the consequence and the verisimilitude kind of happens. So.
Don't tell the story in your head before you start the game.
Yep.
Like, don't
Just
have a
write it
preconceived like this is what happens. Yeah.
Have a starting point.
Thanks, though. Yeah, cool chat. Good stuff. All right. So, and is there some sort of monetary arrangement that you'd be willing to enter into? Some sort of wager? While we're not as grubbing as others are, and he casts a glance towards the others, we still need money for many things.
What is the market price for a gladiator of, say, second level with an interesting class and some good ability scores? Like at Myrmidork 2?
I'm going to probably say, like, you're proven and are heroic stats, and, like, it's probably a talent per level, just to keep things stupidly simple.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
It probably doesn't scale at the upper end. Like 20 talents for a 20th level caster, done. You know, no, it doesn't scale like that. But at the lower levels, it probably does.
Okay.
Because if you think of the gear that they need, so it might be a talent per level plus the NPC gear. Like if that's what you're actually expecting to have, then.
Dude, we don't have any fucking money, man.
I'm about to bet Zor.
I want to know why he was upset. I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
His background is ex-Coronel Guard. That might have something to do with why he was upset.
He's also a middle-aged elf. Like, he's old. He was being trained as a guard for some elvish king, is what you know, Magnus.
Yeah.
There are no more kings anymore.
He's an old man, but his ability scores are awesome.
They want to keep him protected, basically.
They are in an empire of humans. They are looking after...
Good night, boss. It's good. You and your imp, damn it. I love that one. They're in an empire. Yeah, Magnus agrees as weird, almost a father would for a child. He's like, this would be better for him.
All right. Well, you mentioned that you were interested in Zor.
Yes.
Oh, my bet with Captain Zol Zorister is for the 5,000 from the Slave Lord Pompilius.
Yep.
Okay. So if I make a side bet with Denister, this other bet doesn't...
No.
They're completely different.
Right.
I tell you what. Win, lose, we get Zor. However, what I'll be willing to do is to pretend that we had an expensive wager. And that regardless of who wins, you get the winnings. So in effect, I will be paying for Zor. And we will be in good standing with our host.
$20,000 talents then?
Well, the host will be paying half of the value, right? Assuming we win.
No.
Assuming we lose, because we get paid out anyway. Yeah.
Let's say we made a 10,000 gold piece wager. He would pay half. The half, regardless of the outcome of the fight, would go to you, and regardless of the outcome of the fight, Zol would be ours. In effect, I'll be paying over market price for him. Well,
Of course. Agreed.
he's basically getting Legius to pay for Azor.
Yep.
Yep. He's getting Legius to pay for Zor, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm paying over market price." And it's like, "Nah, you're not really, because you only want elves, so your market is really fucking tiny." You're like, "I only buy Lamborghinis." Oh well.
Very well.
Magnus is there, right?
Yeah, Magnus, you can overhear, but they're talking like you weren't there.
Call over the what do they call them? The barrister.
Yeah,
Magnus.
Pitch has gone away.
Okay.
Magnus goes over to him. Walks over to
Okay,
Denister?
you make him like you tower over him. He just looks up at you.
There's many who do not value the lives of warriors and gladiators. From who you are and what I know about you and what you say, I trust the life of him with you. He's safer with you.
Agreed.
Okay. Magnus makes sure that he understood that. He will be safe with him. And he takes...
He wholeheartedly agrees with you.
Magnus nods and heads back.
Ashoka is just like confused, but that's all right. Don't worry. Magnus is his own oaf.
Okay,
Sign
so
here.
they declare, and then you have to actually take out a loan for those additional funds to keep the ruse going. They put out the talents on the table. Apparently, Denister the Raven, all he has to do is provide some sort of like token that gets put down on the almost like a chip that represents the amount of currency, and they take out the 10 talents. Then you have a notary notarize the deal where basically it says that regardless of the outcome of the fight, Denister owes you $5,000. No, sorry. Regardless of the outcome of the fight, he gets the
winnings, which should be $10,000.
The gladiator.
He gets the gladiator, and if he wins, he gets 5,000, which will be paid to you.
And my $5,000 debt disappears.
Yeah,
and that's forgiven.
That's forgiven because you won, right? Like,
well, no, if I lose, the 5,000.
Oh, that's right. That's right. 5,000. Right. He will pay for the 5,000. So this
right,
the side document handles the
right. I don't want to end up with this. You lost the gladiator. Here's $5,000. You owe me $5,000, and me going, what? What's that? What happened?
Magnus is like, I'm dead. Good luck with that shit.
Okay.
You're overseas, and you're at the sketchy cast chain thing.
You actually hear a voice in your head, Magnus. If not to make this more tense. Hello there. I couldn't help myself, but I wanted to see how things were going.
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna have 2 fights for you.
Oh, really? I was wondering, and I can't help myself, I so much like to favor and to shower gifts upon gladiators that please me. I was wondering if you wanted your gift before the fighting.
Say yes.
I would be honored.
Okay, so Magnus is staring off to the side, goes, I would be honored. That's what he says out loud. Dinister looks and then looks to see where Magnus is.
Ashoka picks up on this and is standing in front of Magnus, like Magnus is talking to him.
Okay, so you kind of go off to the corner awkwardly. You're standing kind of like there's a plant kind of in your face. As you're standing where Magnus is looking.
Magnus is talking to me apparently because he doesn't know how to use his inside voice.
Denister just chuckles a little bit and goes over and he's gingerly picking at some grapes and leaves you to your conversation. He seems to be a very, very intuitive, smart, bright person.
Yeah, he's a wisdomer.
What sort of weapon would you like, Magnus? I have so many.
Whatever you deem me worthy of.
Would you like... What sort of weapon do you favor? What do you want to wave around in the arena?
Let's see. Oh.
Some of these weapons I've forgotten the names of. I've got closets of the things. And of course, I don't use these weapons.
Alright, Adam, quickly. Attempting with a 1920 crit range.
Great sword, bastard sword, like a polearm, or what do you want?
Ooh, something with reach. Something with reach. No, great sword. Great sword.
Barbarian, Conan.
Great sword. A great sword.
Well, I've just the thing.
Ah.
Tell me, do you like fire or cold? Winter or summer?
Fire like the burning in my heart. But also cold. As my people have suffered through the frozen. The cold.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah, it was. I am both. I'm fine with either.
Oh, how delightful. You let me choose.
Yeah.
Very well.
You honor me with your choice. You honor me with your gift. And your conversation. Thank you.
Very well, then. I'll present it before you do your battle. It's a nice little sword called Dragon Tongue. I have no need of it. Perhaps you do.
Yes, Magus, your people do have fiery hearts, but they've had a cold time before them. Yes. Later we'll teach you of magics.
You honor me.
I know.
Give me a second. Let me see if I can find some elven warriors.
P-I-M.
There's an elven warrior.
What's it called? Dragon tongue?
It's called
Yes.
Dragon Tongue.
Cool.
It's gonna be fiery unless it was a frosty dragon.
It's a confused dragon. Just had a bad voice. Ah! Shitty bard dragon.
Big boss nemesis. His cultists are looking for an imp or perhaps a pimp. Or a pimp. Hank Pym. Ant-Man.
I just bought some Thin Mints today. Alright. The fuck are you two talking about? Fire of his people. His people lost. They should know when they're dead. They should know when they're conquered.
You have a very disagreeable personality.
I'm gonna make a fucking pair of boots out of you if I ever see you in the ring.
There might be something riffraff over on the other side that you could fireball. You know, just got us over there.
Yeah, I just came over here to use my napkin. He wipes his dirty hands in the back of Magnus.
Did you feel something? I talked to Ashoka. That's weird. I thought I heard something.
I thought I smelled.
There's a little
something, to be
gong.
perfectly honest. Oh,
I
think we
believe,
get to
gentlemen, that it's time for us to adjourn to the gladiatorial pit.
We didn't bet Magnus Quinta, so I'm fairly certain that all of Magnus's belongings are part of the ludis. There was no signing of the body goes to the bleh because you're not supposed to be to the death, so that should be.
All right, so this group basically gathers. Pitch comes over. That's so exciting. Zad just basically, all right, everyone, fucking out of this room.
Dick.
It's just such a dick. Oh, it's the rubbing of the greasy fingers, just like.
All right,
He's just asking for noogies.
I'll be back. In 10
waiting
levels.
there is Legius. He has changed his clothes into a robe of orange, yellows, and reds, like he's on fire. You do notice that there is this beautiful case that is long, like even longer than that of a guitar case, long and slender, that is down on a stable beside it.
Before the noob battle, or
no, he's down there. He's got this large chair that's moved around by servants. There is one servant that falls to his knees, allowing him to step up onto the servant before he sits onto the chair.
Oh, jeez.
You actually hear that person going, and his back cracking a little bit.
Goodbye, back. You're in the wheelchair, buddy.
Oh, well, I hope that you've made your deals and that I'm going to get a good show for my money. Yes, yes, honorable host, says Denister. We have made 2 deals for 2 fights for you this evening. The first fight shall be 2 of our warriors from House Sildon, a Magus that you have taken a liking to, and he nods, as well as one of our swordsmen. This duel between us and the ludis of the Crimson Sands will be between 4 gladiators on their side. A Zor, Bull, Fleas, and Sona. Oh, yes. I'm very interested in these survivors, these Magnus's gladiators that have fallen through and, well, come through such terrible, terrible crucible. I am excited. What sort of combat will it be? Will it be with live weapons? He's like kitty, like a little schoolboy. Yes, it will be with live weapons. However, it will be to submission and subdual. As you know, that House Sildon, yes, House Sildon doesn't want to spend any of its elvish blood. And there is an elf on their side. I perfectly understand your predicament. You're such a long-lived people. I only hope that I can live a fraction of a life that one of your elves does.
Does he only possess fat humans, or can he possess fat anythings?
Fat men is his power. That's the rumor, anyway.
Just
He can inhabit the body of any fat man.
Not enough elf. Why do we keep bringing donuts to this one? Elf.
Oh, I'm looking so forward to this, yes. Let's get them into the ring, shall we? And the other fight, well, we'll talk about it in a moment. Will Magnus be fighting in this fight against the elves or not?
Ashoka will stand up. No, Legius. He will be saving himself for the next, more violent duel.
Oh, I see. We're so looking forward to seeing Magnus fight, aren't we? Yes, we are.
Oh God! Get him, please!
Let's do this. Yeah.